What's up everyone, it's OJH and we're back at it again, and in this one we're going to look at the Baron deck that I used to complete a level 26 red difficulty Deadmines dungeon. This deck is so strong, it's going to get you to full gold, it's going to get you taking on those red level difficulty dungeons with absolutely no stress, no dramas at all. You're going to see how straightforward it is. So here's the deck then. We've got Baron itself summoning skeleton mages. We've got the Ghoul as one of our main tanky units with the Cannibalize giving 10 seconds of armoured. Necromancer also summoning skeleton mages, so there's going to be skeleton mages spawning all over the place. Dark Eye Miner throwing out those proximity mines as he goes about his business. Pyromancer with the Pyroblast talent. Footman with the Fortification talent, giving them an extra 30% of empty health. And then finally we've got the spell Living Bomb, where splash damage causes more Living Bomb. So with the talents that we've got at the bottom then, the reason I put this in is because at the start of the dungeon I was recording the wrong thing. So we're going to jump into the action as the first boss starts, but you don't get to see the first relic that I pick. So the relics that we do have for this whole run then is we've got the rich purple silk shirt, minis costing 4 or 5 gold, deploy with a shield that absorbs the first attack. Then we've got the ranger's flask, range minis attack 33% faster, and finally we've got the coated spearhead, so range minis also gain the poison effect. So this is a average level 24.0. It's a level 26 dungeon, average cost 3.7. This deck is super strong. Let's get straight into it. So here we go straight into it then. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to concentrate primarily on the central lane and the right lane, get that meeting stone on the right. Any troops, any minis that do go left, we're going to funnel them across the bridge, and we're going to just do most of our attacking from the meeting stone on the right. So to start within this one, just bide your time a little bit, see where the minis are going to come from. Got great living bomb value there, taking out the Mountaineer, taking out the 2 sneaky bandits on the on the bridge, and taking out the Spiderlings. Necromancer heading down that central lane there. We put a Dark Iron Miner onto the meeting stone on the right, just so that we can stop ambush things spawning from there, fast things like Prowler, etc. Necromancer's done a really good job of taking out those invisible minis, and we've dropped some support there with the Pyromancer. So Footmen on this are going to be really good for taking out the sneaky Tauren that comes across the pipe. Just going to do a really good job of cleaning that up, and already we are doing a decent amount of damage here by having the meeting stone on the right and being able to get quick support to those frontline troops. So we don't want to rush it here because we do want to make sure that we've got a half decent push when it gets there. So we're going to drop Necromancer Mini all the way in the back. Quickly switch that switch to get the footmen to cross the bridge, hopefully. Necromancer and Pyromancer doing an amazing job on that Mountaineer's bear and taking out all those support troops, and having the Ghoul down as well. That means the Prowler's gone. We are back to our footmen in time for the Tauren coming across the bridge. And we've got an okay looking push coming down the middle. Hopefully we'll be able to get... yeah, we've got the Baron coming down there to do some tanking to protect our Necromancer. Dark Eye Miner coming in to get at least 3 gold from there, and we can quickly drop a Pyromancer at that meeting stone as some close support, and a Ghoul. So we've got the Ghoul and Baron tanking, and we've got Pyromancer chipping away. Necromancer now coming in to support, and with a minute and a half to go. This is looking pretty solid indeed. Dark Eye Miner has done a great job there. 3 proximity mines down. That's going to take out any of those sneaky bandits that may well spawn. We've got 7 footmen that are on the way now. If we can get a Pyromancer down, that'll be some good splash damage to take out absolutely everything that was there. See you later. Good for you. Well done, Pyromancer. Dark Eye Miner, he's still chipping away, getting us even more gold. Baron's now joining the mix, and this is as good as over, I think. We don't want to get too excited. Don't commit too much. Let's get a Ghoul down to just soak that Prowler charge. That's okay. That's okay. Can we get this cleaned up here, or are we going to have Spiderlings to deal with? So Necromancer's going to come down. Oh, no, it's not. Talking absolute nonsense. Had Necromancer selected. Last minute, changed my mind. So Footman coming in there, pushing that Tauren off of our home base. Get out of here. No more damage for you. the absolute worst Dark Eye Miner placement that you've ever seen, although we'll just get 1 gold for us before the Prowler destroys it. And this is why Necromancer is so good, regardless of the level of your Necromancer. Those skeletons, skeleton mages, all the warriors that spawn at the front will soak the Prowler charges. Gives the Necromancer time to sit back, relax, just start doing its thing from range. All good. All good for the Necromancer. I think it's a really, really good card. Really good mini, I should say, from here. So we'll drop Baron and the Necromancer to deal with the Prowler there. I mean, this is as good as over. We're just looking for the opportunity. Living Bomb coming down on all of that, and that is the end of that. So pretty stress-free on that one. Don't overcommit. Take your time. You've got some good tanky units. You've got loads of units with all the skeletons that are spawning from Baron, the skeletons that are spawning from the Necromancer. You've got 4 footmen. You just overrun it. So, second lot of relics then. Played a cycle mini, causes the next mini played to gain a level. That's pretty good. We could have taken that one. Minis gain Bloodlust below 50% health. Yeah, I would be happy with that. We could have taken that one. Or range minis attack 33% faster. So the reason I've taken this one is because on the final boss, you can, maybe sometimes you need to be opportune with getting your minis across those clone pads. And I figured that if they get across that clone pad, the more damage that they can deal when they're across, the better. So that's why that's the sole reason why I went for that one, not the others. I could have taken any of the 3. So on this one, then we can drop a kobold immediately to go off to the gold on the right, and then the first protocol here is going to be getting both of the chests and saving that living bomb for this first pack of minis that's coming down here. Drop that on them when they're next to that tower, and you'll get some splash damage onto that tower to damage that, and that's going to put you in a really good position to be able to take both of these. So what we've got here, we've got a Pyromancer chipping away. We've got one of the Skeleton Mages, which is doing its thing. We've got 4 footmen that are pretty much at full health. And we've got a Baron coming in for this tower on the left. So within 45-50 seconds of this starting, we're going to have the central siege tower and the left siege tower. And from there on, we're in a pretty good place. Dropped a ghoul there to protect the Pyromancer. Far too late. It got splattered. And I'd slightly overcommitted there. What you're trying to do is drop your living bomb on the enemy packs of minis when they're next to the boss, because that splash damage will essentially just help chip down the boss for you, and it's kind of free damage, and you don't have to deal with that entire pack. And our living bomb is 3 levels below this run, so if your living bomb is 3 levels below, it's still viable. Definitely use it. So footmen coming down here, I played them slightly late on purpose because I wanted the Huntress to target our siege tower so that they would stay alive with more health. Use that central switch to get your attacks to go to the side where you've just killed the enemy squad minis. And that way you should have a free run to get to the boss. Living bomb coming down, boom, you see a big chunk of the boss's health gone. It's pretty much wiped out that entire pack. And now we've got a ghoul, necromancer, possibly a footman in there as well. With a minute and a half to go, we've got the boss down to less than half health. So that is looking all good for us. Again, keep checking back to your base there to make sure that you are getting the chests that keep on spawning, because you're just going to win the economy war on this one and flood the AI. Happy days. So this time we're going to change the selector to the left. I know there's already some minis coming from the left, but the big set of minis is now coming from the right, as you can see on the screen, and we would have had to fight our way through all of that. And what we want to do, as I said before, is living bomb that. Make sure you've always got your 6 gold in hand. That's taken another big chunk of boss HP, and we've got like I said a minute ago, we just heard the audio, those chests have respawned, so we get Necromancer down in the back, and that's like a slow roll push as well. Necromancer in the back, there's nothing that we need to defend up front, so we'll just let the Necromancer just have a leisurely walk to the front line. Good for you, Necromancer. So again, I'm not worried that the Huntress with that little health is locked on. I'd rather play the footmen a little bit late and have them survive with more health. Again, we're going to go right this time. If we'd not gone right and we would have gone left with that selector switch, then we would have had to fight all that jazz, and there's just no point. There's no point, because for 6 gold, living bomb on all that, it's going to be another 10-15% boss health, however much it is coming down there. Baron into tank. Pretty steady, pretty straightforward. Huge first push, which got both the siege towers for us. And then just make sure you're using the selector to go left or right. Don't overcommit, because the deck is 3.7 average gold. So make sure you've got 6 in hand for when those mini ads spawn. It'll be easy. Anyway, Coated Spearhead, range minis gain poison. All right. Towers, barracks and meeting stones spawn a well peg every 15 seconds. Well, maybe. And deploying an unbound mini deals damage to nearby enemies. We'll just take the poison. Again, this comes down to when we get our minis across the bridge, the more... you may have to do it in a couple of waves, so the more damage that your minis can do when they cross, the better. So always, always, always be quick-fingered here, because that Tauren was rapid off the mark. Make sure you're contesting that chest. You've got the gold right in front of your base, and the first port of call here will be to take that siege tower on the left. Once we've got the one on the left, we'll try and take the one on the right. The one on the right is where we're going to do most of our pushing from. Keep dropping minis here, because the save pilot, the splash damage of the save pilot, the little mini that pops out, not the actual explosion itself, just wrecks, absolutely smashes through the footman. Anyway, this stage we've got the ghoul eating up there, getting itself back to good health. We've got Necromancer spawning the minis. We've got Pyromancer smashing it away, and we are going to kind of commit to this push a little bit, because we do want to get that tower. But do remember to keep your Dark Eye Miner in hand, because the first thing that gets cloned will be a Sapper. The second thing that gets cloned will be a Kobold, and the third thing, if you do nothing, will be a Molten Giant, and that's going to slow you down. That is going to slow you down significantly. So now we've got that tower on the left. We just heard that the chest has spawned again, so we'll just drop a Kobold to start dealing with that. We drop Necromancer to deal with the Molten Giant, because the Molten Giant is single target, and having the Necromancer's little minis, little mini skeleton mages coming out will be enough to distract and to take out that Molten Giant with no problems at all. Dark Eye Miner coming down to do a little bit of tanking, and we're going to push around to get this right tower. And then noting that something's probably going to get cloned pretty shortly, so we just need to see what that might be. So we were kind of daydreaming at that point, and it turns out it was a Ogre Mage. So if something like this does happen, make sure that you've got bridge control. So you'll see I've sent a Necromancer over the bridge. Yes, that was to kill the Molten Giant, but bridge control is just going to be amazing for you if something gets cloned that you don't want. So when the clone machine did its clone thing, we know we've got that window of opportunity, so I dropped as many minis as I could to get across the bridge. I've dropped a Dark Eye Miner behind the boss to distract, although there's so much tanking going on, and in one push, that'll be the end of that. So with 1 minute and 20 to go, that is all she wrote. So this is a really, really easy Baron strategy. There's no need to rush. If you use this deck and you have some success, then please let me know how you get on in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up for more content like this. Get yourself subscribed. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.